These protesters say they won't rest until peace is restored in the region. Governor Patterson's vow to fight obesity cost the state more than $6 billion last year, but a new 18% tax on sugary sodas can whittle New Yorkers' waistlines and shrink the state's budget deficit. Retailers like The Gap offered shoppers steep discounts last month in order to get rid of inventory. It worked, but profits also dipped, falling 14% for the month. Con Edison customers will see a 3.6% increase on their heating bills this winter. One way to lower your heating bill, the old-fashioned way, make a wood-burning fire.
Ceux qui sont contre.
Those against.
The United Nations Security Council is taking a stand against the violence in the Middle East. After days of intense negotiations, the Security Council passed the resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Violence erupted in the region almost 2 weeks ago, killing a total of 760 Palestinians and more than 10 Israelis. The United States abstained from voting for the UN resolution, but officials say they support an end to the violence.
We believe a ceasefire is necessary, but it has to be a ceasefire that will not allow a return to the status quo.
U.S. officials say they want to evaluate the results of mediation led by France and Egypt.
We're interested in learning more about the discussions that the French had with the Egyptians, and until we know more, I think I'll decline to comment any further.
The violence has led to a public outcry across the globe with protesters denouncing the war.
Free Palestine!
Thousands rallied in Times Square to express their anger and frustration.
Stop the U.S. from funding Israel and withdraw its support. But I think most of all, we need to show solidarity with people, indigenous people around the world who are resisting their situation.
I'm standing here in support of people who are being mercilessly attacked and slaughtered.
So far, both sides have ignored the non-binding UN resolution, with Israel continuing its offensive and Hamas firing back. These protesters say they won't rest until peace is restored in the region. In Times Square, Emmy Abbassi, News 13. After nearly 20 hours of discussions over 3 days, the New York City Council has finally extended term limits. Mayor Michael Bloomberg will now be able to run for a third consecutive term. Council Speaker Christine Quinn argued the mayor should be allowed to serve 4 more years because of the struggling economy.
Challenging times like these, the voters should have the choice to continue their current leadership.
The council voted 29-22. 3 of those who voted against the extension are the only Republicans on the council.
If you do this, you're undermining the very people that vote you in to represent them, because their voices were already heard. Let the people decide.
Many New Yorkers are divided on the council's decision.
I think it's egregious. I think it's horrible. You know, the people voted twice in the 90s for term limits. So I think they should abide by what the people said.
I'm for the extension. I'm for Bloomberg, and I think that he's on the right track.
The bill signing ceremony will take place just a day before the November 4th ballot, which could have included a referendum on term limits. New Yorkers will get their chance to express their praises and criticisms at the ceremony. Iman El-Wakad, News 13.